though my title was given to me at ancient Igbo Kingdom at Aguleri. And the Oni of Ife was sometimes saying that they and the Igbo people were dwelling together at Ife. You understand? So now, before the Igbo people began to move towards the east, and there is a feast that they normally observe, which is the culture of, the Feast of Wet. And he said that it was between that particular feast. They learn it from the Igbos they are the custodian of it. They are keeping it, but the Igbos are the real true owner of that particular feast. So they learn it from their great grandfather, their ancestral father, or Batanla. So now that Erewa and Bini are brother, and both of them left Ife together. So that is why I'm asking. Then who is the father of Erewa, or where did the father of Erewa came from? Then, because when we get to Bini or whatever, then Bini people should be able to tell us where they migrated from, because nobody fell from heaven. So to clear the whole thing, so that our children that are coming up, we get a clear history of who we actually are. The third son of Eri is the third son of Eri. Eri. Okay. From Aguleri in ancient Idueri kingdom. His name is Oba. And from the history over there, says that Oba gave birth to Edozuno. And that Edozuno gave birth to Bini and Onitsha. And Bini and Onitsha moved down to Bini where they settled, and now moved to Ife. And they were living there before the Ilesha, the Oduduwa people, come together, which they were now living together in the rain tropical forest there. According to this Oni of Ife. So that was where they were observing that culture. So now that they were observing that culture, and at the end of the day, today, some of us now say we are from Oduduwa, while some say no, we are from the east. I don't know if you are getting it. So that picture is what I want us to clear. And that is why I bring up this question here in Erewa, being the senior of Isoko. Because when we go to the north, they fight us. As they are killing Igbos, they are killing.
Yes, with the pace and the speed of discoveries this time around, our generation is trying to solve a very important problem of historical origin of Igbos and those people around Igbos that are yet to understand their identity. The problem is almost coming to an end. The solution is almost at hand with what I will show you today. Honestly, I believe that the dots are now being connected properly, and very soon it's going to make sense to everybody. Very soon we are going to have a straightforward understanding of at least a reasonable point of Igbos, their origin, and like I said, helping the people around core Igbo areas to understand their origin. Yes, this young man, in fact, this is the best connecting dots that I have seen so far. He was passing the information gradually, but I myself, with the knowledge I have, because I've said this severally on YangaLife channel here, that this Oba you are hearing of Bini is one of the descendants of Eri. Eri from Aguleri. It's one of the sons that moved down to Bini. I've said it. If you check my top channels, you will see it. So just stay with me. I believe that you are going to get this thing clearer with these questions. This our brother with this our great sister that is doing a lot of work to bring out cultures and the origins So let's watch.
Okay, I wanted to ask question.
Yes. The question I want to ask, because we are now at our father's home, the most senior in Isoko, and there are a lot of things, the controversies that have been going on, and which I want us to make clear here. Because now, the history from Erewa say that Erewa and Bini left Ife. And Bini and Erewa are brothers. So, who was Erewa's father? And who was Bini's father?
Okay. Yes. To answer that very question, you see, it's just like you are trying to ask who was Bini's father. Bini is Bini, Erewa is Erewa. And we migrated, we migrated from Ife. You understand me now? We migrated from Ife. So, Bini and Erewa, they were brothers. You understand me now? So, that is where the storyline started from. And they went their separate way. Benin decided to reside in Benin there. And Erewa transcend beyond that point and came down here. Yes.
I said to bring clarity, to avoid some controversies that have been going on. And I asked, since Erewa and Bini are brothers, who is the father of Erewa and who is the father of Bini?
I said the father of Bini. I don't know the father of Bini, but the father of Erewa is baby. Baby.
Then where did this our great father come from?
Igbo
Biafra, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Life.
Now, you know that the Benin said that they are not Yoruba. And it has been an argument. The Benin said they are not Yoruba. They are not from Oduduwa. They are not Oduduwa people. You understand me? And they found Ile-Ife. The Benin, yes, that they migrated to Ile-Ife. And the Oni of Ife was sometimes saying that they and the Igbo people were dwelling together at Ife. You understand? So now, before the Igbo people began to move towards the east, and there is a feast that they normally observe, which is the culture of, the Feast of Wet. And he said that it was between that particular feast, they learn it from the Igbos are they are the custodian of it, they are keeping it. But the Igbos are the real true owner of that particular feast. So they learn it from their great-grandfather, their ancestral father, Obatanla. So now that Erewa and Bini are brother, and both of them left Ife together. So that is why I'm asking, then who is the father of Erewa, or where did the father of Erewa came from? Then, because when we get to Bini or whatever, then Bini people should be able to tell us where they migrated from, because nobody fell from heaven. So to clear the whole thing, so that our children that are coming up, we get a clear history of who we actually are. So, do you know where the father of Erewa came from?
Which is Igbo Biafra.
Which is Igbo Biafra.
With what I was informed, we were reliably informed that we came from Benin, from Ile-Ife. The father that brought up from Ile-Ife come here, Erewa is Igbo Biafra. That's what I know. I don't know of Benin. I don't really know where Benin come from.
Do you know where Igbo Biafra come from?
Where come from Ile-Ife.
Ile-Ife, the father. History of how Ile-Ife existed.
I don't know that.
There is a great argument on that. That is why I'm asking. Okay, nevertheless, we put that aside for now. Now, okay, let me stop there. Okay, let me put it this way, because now that, because I'm in my father's house, so I can say some certain things. Yeah, and I think I'm free. Because why I'm asking this question, the third son of Eri is the third son of Eri. Eri. From Aguleri in ancient Idweri kingdom. His name is Oba. And from the history over there, says that Oba gave birth to Edozuno. And that Edozuno gave birth to Bini and Onitsha. And Bini and Onitsha moved down to Bini where they settled and now moved to Ife. And they were living there before the Ilesha, the Oduduwa people, come together, which they were now living together in the rain tropical forest there. According to this Oni of Ife. So that was where they were observing that culture. So now that they were observing that culture, and at the end of the day, today, some of us now say we are from Oduduwa, while some say no, we are from the east. I don't know if you are getting it. So that picture is what I want us to clear. And that is why I bring up this question here in Erewa, being the senior of Isoko. Because when we go to the north, they fight us. As they are killing Igbos, they are killing us. When we go to the west, as they are killing Igbos, they are killing us too. The Isokos, they say we are all Igbos, from Benin down. But the history is why some of our fathers are telling us that we are not Igbo. So why is this confusion everywhere? So we need to make these things clear. Okay, the thing happens to me. My shops and everything was born in Lagos. Because of what? They say I am an Igbo man. My vehicle was 6. I asked them, why? What is my offense? I have the old paper and my driver license. They say Igbo. I said, I'm from Isoko. I was arguing. The senior officer of that vehicle inspector told me that I should go back home and go and ask questions. That I'm supposed to be teaching others, not for others, not for me to join them and begin to say all these type of things. And that is one of my reasons why I began to ask questions. You understand? So these are the reasons. So if we keep quiet, we don't know all these things, that thing will still continue to affect our children and our upcoming ones. Because whenever they are killing Igbo, they do not leave us. They will still continue killing us. But we say we are not Igbo. But when I got that history and all the rest of them, that is why I say no. There is a link somewhere which somebody is not saying the truth. That is what prompted this question. So maybe we still need to investigate further to know what is actually going on. Thank you.
And I think that in the Isoko, that is not linked to Erwaye. The only thing I have heard is that one of the communities in Isoko land that migrated from Igbide, who migrated from Igbide. Yes.
Then they say Lower Enwe, Opolo is Opolo. Kingdom is also from Igbo direct. Those are the direct Igbo migrants. But the rest of us that come from Benin, that is why I'm asking this question, so that we will be able to give our children right education.
Sam,
Yes.
in the olden days,
Yes.
do they have any community that fought war with the Arab people?
Yes, I would say yes. But, sometimes there are certain things that will remain unsaid, not to, bring up old wounds. You understand? Of course, yes. And you see, for the Eroas, they are great warriors. For we to still retain this very place, it wasn't an easy thing. Yes, we fought wars. Yes, we did.
You should be kept aside.
But I've answered. You said, did they fight war? I said, yes, we did. We are great warriors. We did. We fought. Yes.
So talking about fishing, how can you throw more light about fishing when it comes to Aruwa people?
Yes.
Being fishermen.
Okay, yes. When you talk in terms of fishing, we are great fishermen. If you look, there's a creek here. And beside the creek too, if you, from the mouth there, when you go, that is River Niger too. So we are surrounded. And also at the back, this way, we have a lot of what we call ponds. The dog ponds that our forefathers, the dogs. So every year, when it is dry season, we go there to harvest. And that even some of our ponds here, in the olden days, there were some of our neighbors who were trying to seize them, but we fought them gallantly, and we retrieved. They couldn't. They couldn't because of our gallantry. They couldn't. So yes, we are great fishermen.
Looking at this creek here, when you look at this road here, leading down to here, see that there's a creek here, there's a big river here that crosses it. Was there any activity like slave trade or crossing of the slave during the olden days there?
Yes, you see, there were. I will answer that question. To answer your question, when you see the slave trade encompasses all the whole area. When you go to during the time of this Niger, what they call that trade, the company, this owned by the whites then. They have an office somewhere around Asabaisi. They have an office there. Yes. They have an office there, yes. So, yes, but I can't really give sufficient information of that. But they were. And I think, too, that historically, amongst the communities, there were old stories of trade, of those who were actually...
Because looking at this place, that people were crossing from here to the other side. That's why I asked. Okay, guys, so I see the mayor get Dimas and Crab, the queen of African culture, and today we are live in Eruwa, one of the oldest kingdom, Asian kingdom, one of the oldest Isoko kingdom. So there's nothing that is done in Isoko without them because they are the eldest. They are the number one. So that's why we visited today, to find out their great history, their culture. And when you talk of the history of Isoko, there's no way we'll discuss about the history of Isoko without coming to Aruwa Kingdom. So that's why we're here today. You find out their history, their rich culture, what makes them very unique, and so many things about it. Their rich food and so many things. So guys, keep following us. We'll be giving you updates and more history about them and rich culture about them. I see the mayor get Dimas and Craft, the queen of African culture. So thank you guys. So like I was saying, my king, I want to thank you for welcoming me to your kingdom today. I appreciate every one of you today for welcoming me here, and me and my team today. I think it's one of the peaceful places I've been for my research. Welcome me, and from how you presented the cola, money and everything, I was like, I have not seen this one, no. So other parts used to do, but this one people do. Other people will be adding money, like I've not seen this culture. So it's very unique about your people. So I appreciate so much. Thank you all for giving me your time. I appreciate. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you. Thank you, sirs. Thank you. Okay.
All right. I believe you enjoyed that section of this video. Did you get anything that is very clear? Did it ring a bell in your mind that this thing is a confirmed, connection? To me, he has that, strong conviction that there is link in this, what this guy is saying and this question he's asking. Yes. You see these people, Isoko, all these Isoko people, I will give you the second part of it so that, you follow up. That's the follow-up part of it. You see? So, you see them breaking kola nut. They will pray over his kola nut, break it, and you see them, they are like us, telling you that it's the same bloodline.
This a small bite take from inside because I dey bless am. This one guarantee good health, long life, prosperity. Amen. This one are for everybody where they here. Whether you eat from inside, sef, if you even see am, blessing will follow you. Amen.
Well, I am Aichi Fatanari from Igbo Kingdom. Though I am an Isokoma from Aviara. My father is from Araya community. I'm from Obodago compound in Araya. As a quarter in Araya community. Though my title was given to me as Ancient Igbo Kingdom at Aguleri.
All right, did you hear what he said? That his title was given to him in Aguleri, Idueri Kingdom, Old Idueri Kingdom. Meaning that some of these people still understood their origin. He no one take local title from Isoko. That's why he went deep down to where his people was coming from to take his title. You see, and I know that some people are like this in these small communities in rivers, deltas, and other areas that understood this, culture and the bloodline and the origins we are talking about. So what is left for us now is to broadcast this thing, share these videos, let other people become aware of their true bloodline and what is happening that some other people don't know. You see? So let's continue.
Sir, your kola nut reach my hand. And kola nut brings life. It brings good thing and favor and love. Because it is out of love you gave it to us. So you receive us in your kingdom. And it stands for unity. Many people break kola nut in different ways, but today, let all protocols be observed. I want to say here today that may you reign forever.
I thank you now, so now come. I don't know, everyone knows they get visitors like that. We'll be the oldest, but as you know, we did kind of hidden. So I did happy as well. I'm very happy. This one too, it will help publicize everywhere to an extent. Some people will see and say, one community like that, in that place. So I thank you for that. I see the cola, I see the money, and I did happy. I accept them. And as soon as give me, so God will replenish my pocket times 1,000 I will receive blessings, long life, prosperity. Share.
No, you're all right.
name is?
Mishakeza. I'm from the royal house of Erowa Kingdom. Erowa is a community. And Erowa and the Benin, they both moved from Ife land, the Yoruba, to where Benin settled. After some time, Erowa moved to this kingdom we are today. And Erowa is a man, she's a human being. He has 4 sons. The 4th son represents the 4th quarter today in Erowa Kingdom. Then Erowa has the fruits in the Wari area. It's from Erowa. The, what do you call it? Akon. You get one village for Bas that says Akon. Ekonwe is from this Erowa Kingdom also. Older cities. Then Erowa still have the Anbases overside or river area. But now Biafra State. Then the Erowa still have the Ogbokri from the Lebanon area, same Biafra State. That is. Then Umoti for Abo area. The Abo area for Uribla local government. Udokwa is local government area. Those are the villages that apart from Erowa. Then when you go to the Erowa properly, Erowa will have festival. The festival, they normally do it every year, June, July, between that period. And in our festival, we have our, where we perform our festival, we use the 14 days. The first day, that they cover the town, they call them Idieo. What they do Idieo, for that 7 days, people know they go bush. People know they go bush. Then after that day, then you go reach another day when they go do how do they call them Egbefa. Egbefa, that is oracle. They go through the oracle. After that, they go through the oracle. This is what I want to do this year. You go do good, they rope a quarters. Now that they go perform that thing. Then the thing you come answer say, yes, the festival is faithful. Everybody go happy. Then the next day, you get one band, big band. What are they? Big band. They call them Okoma, our tradition here. And the people under the beater, now from the Ezel quarter in Erowa, and they beat that thing. After that, you enter the next day. The next day, the other family, the contacts come, Igbo, Ogbezu, you get one juju where they will dance from. The Uki quarter will dance that juju come. They go repeat for them. Then, the same that period, another family come dance, another one called they call it Ororieo. Okay, Emeti Bobu. That one, women, what they don't go marriage. Now they beat that day for the woman they don't go marry for the community. That one. Then before they come enter the Ororieo, that one and man and woman, one girl and one boy. Now they dance and come. That is any community, you must see man and woman. That one represents that thing. They come see that one. For that family, for the community, then another one, because we here we are fishermen, we got one big lake, so that family now they keep fish pass, so that they drop fish, better fish, come the fish, come that, so as a road they go to singer, that one at the same ropey, quarter, now they dance that you come. What the dance are finished, the same people now they beat for them. Then, when you don't do that one, we call it, that one they call masquerade. That masquerade day is the biggest day. That they call it Mokiale. That is the biggest festival when everyone must like to wash. Why they say, okay, the doctor, even though you do room with the bed, you must come out to see him. Down the oldest quarter, in Erowai, what they call Uki. Now, they call Dasa. Big crowd, you see, follow them, come to the arena there. They come dance around several times for the feed before they go. Where they don't go, is Ifrit. That one, are the same masquerade, but they carry them for head. Now, rope people, they present that one. They see that rope with Owalafa. The 2 quarter, and I get that juju. After much performances, they come the feed, the arena of the festival. They come dance and reach there. He will dance several times. Other several times, he will come go. Igbo Biafra? Yeah. Igbo Biafra? Yeah. Ijira mata kaera. Then that after that one, as they dance, that feed, what for the dance there, they call them Afizu. The name Afizu. That be the arena, all the Ojuju, they come that place. When the all dance finish, then the person when they beat their comma, the drum when they beat and so now comma they call and so before everybody come carry and follow am to a house, a family and a compound.
You get the particular people where they build the drum.
Yeah, that is the quarter so. Get person when they reach. Old man go take and give somebody say go beat for me. For that quarter so. So when they don't do finish, the whole people come follow the man, go a house. Escort arrange, entertain, and everybody jubilate. That is the physical history of Pharaoh Kingdom. Then we still have some other tradition. We still have some juju. We have so many juju. Many juju, 37. But this one they call it Zue, they call it Zue, is the senior, is the chairman, is the overall for among the juju. That one, then they can't go that feed. It is house. People they come serve for there. And that juju, only 1 quarter, now they serve. Person, now they come from there, go serve. And that quarter, now every quarter, now they call them. Then that juju himself, she get festival on his own. Whether they perform, they call them Kolo Bibi. Many Kolobu, they come from each quarter. They come full and that. That one 3 years once now they do.
Okay, only 3 years they come
3
out.
years once they go come out. They do that once for that 3 years finish, you go back. So Igbo Biafra, I get Robert and Akafo. I want to Masatera. Udo Beza Ugbo. No matter Akafia. I want to Mesadio. Nasa I talk. One point now the few clear whole place finish you. Other for the contribute. It's okay though. Igbo Biafra. Damas Dimas crowd.
Your name is?
Chief Dixon Aseroma.
Okay, from Isoko here.
From Erowaya.
Erowaya.
Last week, the first speaker says, I don't want just emphasize. The 4 sons of Erowaso, the first son started from Uki quarter. That's the first son. Then the second one is Ezeo. The third one, Iruvi. The fourth one, Urupi. Then on the feast day, like what he said was saying on the feast. The feast, because we start and again waiting to beat the night. That night, they beat that big drum, what they call a coma. They beat about the night, they beat that first before the feast start. They beat that in the night for the ferries. After beating it, they call drive the ferries out from the town. Two. Early morning after the beating, before the feast will not commence. Then apart from that,
when he was mentioned, he said that he came from somewhere with the father of the Benin.
From Ife.
From Ife. Are they brothers?
Yes, I mean, they were brothers. Bini, everyone, they were brothers. They were separated from when Bini settled, they will come this side.
Where did they settle? Where did he settle first when he got here?
It was Uki now.
Oduki.
Uki, be the first place. It was there. It was from Uki. He separated. The 4 children separated. Before the other children, so moved to Efru. Like what they said, also Efru and Beza and other places. Everyone still maintained here as an error.
The other people now migrated to other places.
Okay, yes, other places.
Where do people have other Isoko settled?
The other Isoko settled, like
Right. Where else, like if you come to Enugu, they will tell you that Soso people settle in Anambra and are related to Enugu people. Like Isoko here, which community again have link with you people related?
Isoko here, we don't have any community link with us. Now we started this year, this place, as I settled there. Those that migrated from here. Now Bayasa. They want to Umuti is in Ebo East. This is Isoko here. None of the communities here in Isoko here migrate from here. Those days that it was only this river where the major route to go through. For Patan, go to Ume or the Popo. Then this road where people will be control. There was no road here. They were using this river as a route as here.
So the major road they were using.
The route. The Bananja, from the Bananja enter this creek. The leak is to go through here.
How many wives did he marry when he came in?
The wife? How many wives I want get that time? How many wives I want marry? So now woman, I bought the 4 children.
So now one woman born the 4 children.
It should be.
When you come to Isoko here, like the family that visited there, or just like what we did here, breaking of kola, giving the drink to the king and other people, is another tradition. You carry the drink from the train pan to the person, but in your tradition, the drink has to be in the train pan there.
If you are a king or you are a chief, they will pray for the kola, for the train. If the drink, they will leave that drink on the glass, with the glass on the train for you. You carry with the train, they can't meet you. But if you're not a king, you pray for the bottle. If you serve you, but if you're not a king, you carry like that, go meet you. The king will walk out that thing from the train. Even with the cola, they don't carry it from the train. So that's our tradition.
If you come to Isoko here, every tribe have their way of doing marriages, how they marry their children out. The main thing you have to do before they will hand over their child to you as a wife. How do you people do marriage in Isoko here?
Okay, in like a here. If you see one girl, if you see a girl from any quarter or from any house or from any family you like, you consult the family. When the family agree with you, say, our daughter, you want to marry, say, we are from here, you say, to have so place. After that initial consultation, if the family agrees, you have to fix a date for the marriage. Then the bride, you will not inform these people. Then the groom will equally invite the people, inform these people. They will not fix a date to meet. Both sides will meet at the gay parent place, the papa place. They will both gather there. It is it's a ceremony. Like here, if after they will fix the money, if you get a man, they pay. Say na so day, na so man don't pay. Na so money for the money to get a man, they pay. Like here, we pay. They paid 200 for the get head.
200 naira.
Initially, but now it's 1,000. If you are within the town, 1,000. If you're outside, I think this should be 3,000. That if even if you spend 100,000, you spend 100 million. The first part when the people that 3,000, that 1,000 for the indigenous, 1,000. Outside is 3,000. If the marriage is separate, now it is only that money. They will refund. Despite your million you spend.
If anything happen to the marriage, now that 1,000 or 3,000 you go collect.
You refund. That is the law. You spend million, you spend this one. All those are not accounted for. The day of the marriage, the groom will do one side, the broom will do one side. The groom and the broom go out. They side, the pride. the way they want to do marriage to, when they don't practicing, the what do you call it, the groom and the bride, they cook their own food, join together. Normally, now the man one man and I go bring the teas out, give to the parent to cook. But I mean now we're not present down there at their goods when they cook. They both sat and don't sit down and chop together, share together. You get no matter of drinks when they drop. Like why I goes before the marriage, you get the committees, the home say they call organize the marriage, you get paper one issue for you. The marriage, I mean for the community, it will issue a certificate. Say effective you have now managed to do these guys as your wife. You get to them, you give them. What about what? This Sister Remy with this what they call this camp beers. I think I want one a month for the committees. They are the parents of the girl when go to my so is the place that how you're going to make you negotiate with them. Whatever they agree with you just stay of house before the date of the marriage. Before the marriage, you get when you come present to the community, get the number of beer and when you go present. There your food don't go cook. That don't mean it depends on you. How you will buy people rich. I do the president, I will take it at it. That one is meant for the man money they get.
But man, we like these people they do travel, come travel, see una picking for there, una daughter, like her, come begin stay with her, not do anything for her head. If mistakenly something happen and they can't tell una say as it happen or say no, the person go come do everything before and go come carry the picking come back.
That it depends on the family. So the point is when we say. As you don't see me before you go marry my daughter, I died, or you do something. You go marry the girl, pay the normal dowry, do the normal escort her, even if you don't die, you will not do that marriage escortion. Do everything. Before you will not present the mother and say your daughter won't marry died. Before the court of say died, how do you do it now? Before you come prepare now, you go take burial. But I mean it depends on some families. So somebody goes, okay, that guy but that will not be mistake. You do Peter to die, say no. You enjoy, I say no. It depends on the families, individually. It's not because you say you must do like that or like that. It depends on the family when that thing happens to. So it's not the law.
Okay. Now, sorry to ask you. Coming to the history of the Arwa kingdom, this is the oldest kingdom here. When we talk of ancient, this is where it started. The history and the story of Arwa started. Do they have any link with any other tribe apart from the Benin?
Link with any tribe? I don't.
Like Igbo, other tribe?
No, we don't have any link. We have our own language. Like us now, we change now. Like this gentleman is in from our house, we get our language. If we enter that language now, we're not. But we see they speak this Soko. Of which it's every year, but we get our own language. You say, if you speak when we if we speak that language now, and the bit go here. The other people like go here. But this people, I mean, they don't know yet. I said now, what you will only.
Okay, people have a particular language that speak within yourself that other people does not even.
Well, others go not yet. Like this, but now we say if I'm happy also. If this piece go here, but if you turn out to that language, I mean, not yet.
So what of when you talk of your doing burial in your place? How do people do? If you come to that tribe, they have their way of doing female, like an old woman that got old and died. They have their separate way of doing the burial. They have the separate way of doing men burial or elderly people, chief, kings. How do people do burial in your place here?
Okay, we do not have any celebration in Liberia. If man die, the way you do man burial, if woman die, they do not not get any celebration. They will bury man like it depends on the children. And the children get money rich. Now I get their burial. Now they go buy the costly gasket or the way the burial will teach rich. Now it depends on how they get money rich. It's not the fault. I mean, it's not the do that affair. It depends on how your hand rich.
But in your culture now, in your tradition, the day of the burial, after the burial, everybody go, or do people have the tradition that women will stay after that burial? Like when you talk about mama then that got married outside will come and stay, spend days with the people that lost the person.
We were having laws like that before, but church don't change all these traditions. Formerly, if you be a woman, we are married to someone now. If your papa die, if you come for the burial, you go to the burial place until your guy will come bury. You go there for someone to be until your guy when you marry, you go come see the family. But now the thing not be like so now you that with your guy will not come when they go. If not for those days, if your mama die, your papa die, your organ not come bury. You will not go. They will make the end until your guy come bury. But now, bury will go. But now they don't like that. Church don't destroy everything. That cause now it's not exist again.
But this tradition that people were doing in those days, that if a woman that married outside die, they will bring the woman and come and bury in the father's house. Do they do it here? Okay,
you see, it depends. Now, if my mama die now, if I say I will bury my mama for my compound, that is I mean for my back compound, I will go meet to my mama people. Say my mama die, I will bury my compound. There's nobody say no. I mean, can come a papa place. You will take go. It depends on the family. So it's not a force.
It's not by force.
Yes. My name is Edwin Okodia. I am an indigene of this Erowa community. Yes, from Ezewo quarters. There were some questions you raised that are there other places that this Erowa linked to?
Migrated or linked to?
Yes. Now, yes, I will answer yes. Urobo, one, because the Efru left here via Efruto down to today, today. So, and we all know that that place is one of those kingdoms in Urobo kingdom. So, therefore, it is linked. They have a link to Erowa. Then secondly, they also have a link to part of Ijo, which they migrated from here to Ekel. So there is a link to part of Ijo. Then apart from that, I just want to bring an interesting a story. In the olden days, like you did mention, you say you are from Araya. Very good. Now we have three communities in the Isoko. In the olden days, they had an oath within themselves. Number one, I just want to buttress a fact. Yes. That we have Erowa, we have Aviara, Iyede. These are three.
Iyede.
Yes, Iyede. And even in that, the three communities that entered into covenant in the ancient time, in that tripartite communities, they still recognize Erowa as a senior. Now, let me buttress a fact. I will summarize that story. Some years past, I traveled to go see my paternal grandmother, that is brother, who settled somewhere for business around Lokoja area. So I went there in a remote place, and there they had issue, and an Araya person with Aviara, and they used that ovo to cause that if I'm the person that did this, let this repercussion happen. And for you to undo that cause, these three Erowa, Aviara, and Iyede, they must be there complete. Otherwise,
must be there complete.
Yes, otherwise you cannot undo it. And so they saw Aviara person in that place, and there was an Iyede person, no Erowa person. So, and the distance from there for them to come down to look for Erowa person, would that person survive? The answer is no. But fortunately, I came around, and then I hear that so person came on, that papa, the sister who went to marriage in Erowa, that is his the grandson of the sister who went marriage from Olomoro to Erowa is around. He said, are you sure it's an Erowa person? He said, yes. So that is how they came to that place. And they asked Papa, that this your son, your visitor is from where? It's okay, it's my sister that went to marriage there. And that is the grand. He said, it's okay. Please, we have a problem at hand. What is the problem? And I said, this is it. That the person is at the verge of dying. Oh yeah. Then I told me, oh yeah, follow them. So this is how I followed them there. It's a life story, I'm telling you now. So while there, the person was on the ground, jerking to die. So then I said, okay. To me, at the time, I didn't understand anything about that. I was just hearing stories. But here is it, life responsibility has been placed upon me. So then I teach me that, okay, this is what you will say. And the key things they use, this palm front, charcoal, and some other things. So I was told what to say because at that very point, I was already the senior there. Though the youngest, but I was made the senior. So they gave me drink, I did the libation and everything. And before you know, somebody who was almost jerking to die came back to life. So these are one of these spectacular things about the story about the Isoko. And it will also interest you to note that one key thing that said, Erowa is the most, from here, this river you see is known as Erowa Creek. And I would also make reference to some of the works of Reverend S. Hobart. He's a white man. He did some works, stories about Isoko. So I'm giving you a reference that you can, some academic works, history that was done by a white man, by Reverend S. Hobart. And again, I think our own son too, who was the first professor in Isoko land, he was Professor Emeritus, now late, the Dean Faculty of History, University of Ibadan, Professor Barry Kime. He also did some academic work about the Isoko. So you can also find some there too. You understand me now? And the Erowa people, they were the first settlers. Even there's an Isoko community close to us there, Ume. Ume was under this very clan. We own those land there. We gave them. You understand? We gave them. So, and some other places. So we are the first settlers in the whole of the both Isoko North and South. We were the first settlers. Yes. So we and each time we are in IDU, the first question, is there any Erowa person here? So exactly. So we are the first person that will have to say prayers and all that.
Wait. If there's any event going on that comprises all the Isoko, they must ask if there's anybody from Erowa.
Yes, they will ask. And personally, because I'm trying to buttress facts now, I was at Ovrode some years back. They were there. There were other Siko people. The moment I said I'm from Erowa, they put kola before me. Not respecting me per se, but it's the community where I come from.
Your father, your forefathers.
Yes, my forefathers. They are represented. In Efrun here, when they were telling you the story about the Okomo, that long band. If you go to Efrun, I was there live some years ago, about 6 years ago. That's to portray the fact that actually they know. I once met one old woman. That woman must be dead. That woman, the son used to be the regional manager in Nitel, the defunct Nitel that is no more today. She told me that when she was young, they used to come to Erowa for feast from Efru there.
Viewers, we have come to the end of this video. Please like this video. Don't forget to share it. That sharing is very important so that people can bring in their contributions if you are serious in this Igbo history and origins, so that will help the upcoming generation to make things easier for them. Well, I am still Chinedu till I come your way next time.